In the early 16th century a rivalry between Clan Ruthven, a Protestant family, and Clan Charteris, a Catholic one, took place over the position of Provost in the Scottish town of Perth. The Provost was the chief magistrate of a Scottish borough and held great powers within the region. The Charteris family traditionally were elected to the position, going back to the mid-15th century, and spanning over at least 4 generations. In 1529 Lord William Ruthven was elected to the position, and this stoked an already simmering rivalry between these two powerful families. A few months after John Ruthven took over as Provost, Patrick Charteris, the previous Provost, his brother John Provost and 11 of their clansmen raided the Ruthven stronghold of Cowsland, where they burned the village and carried off the Ruthvens' cattle and goods. The Scottish authorities attempted to capture Patrick Charteris, but he was able to escape and left Scotland for an overseas pilgrimage. 9 years later, in 1538, John Charteris of Kinfauns was elected Provost, returning the title back to the Charteris family. The next significant confrontation between the two families came during the Perth Provost election in 1543. Cardinal Beaton held much sway over the district's regent, James Hamilton, Earl of Arran. Beaton asked Hamilton to order the citizens of Perth to vote for John Charteris over the Protestant candidate Lord Patrick Ruthven. The Ruthvens, who held considerable sway over the townspeople in Perth, were successfully able to win the election, and Lord Ruthven was declared Provost. In response, Cardinal Beaton appealed to Lord Hamilton, who threw out the results of the election and declared John Charteris the next Provost. The citizens of Perth resented this declaration and barred the gates, not allowing John Charteris to enter Perth. John Charteris appealed to his allies in the Grey and Leslie clans. On July 22, 1544, the Greys and the Charteris attacked Perth from the bridge, while the Leslies entered the city by river and attacked at the south port. In preparation, the Ruthvens, along with their allies in Clan Moncraif, pulled up the drawbridge, locked the city gates and stationed their men in the houses and lanes of the town. The attackers, led by Lord Grey, believed that the Ruthvens had abandoned the town, and they marched in unmolested. Once they entered the city streets, the Ruthvens gave charge and used the advantage of surprise to rout the invading party. The Leslies got delayed as they tried to navigate the river into the town, and arrived too late to help in the fight. Before retreating from the town, 60 soldiers of the invading party were killed by the Ruthvens. This defeat sealed Ruthven's power as Provost of Perth, and they remained Provosts until the execution of William Ruthven, Earl of Gowrie, in 1584, after he was involved in a plot to kidnap King James VI. The feud between these two clans had one final incident in 1552, when the Ruthven chief's son, along with some of their clansmen, encountered John Charteris of Kinfauns on the High Street of Edinburgh. The group of Ruthvens took the opportunity to murder Charteris as an act of revenge. This incident led to the passing of an act in Scottish Parliament that stated that murderers in an act of clan revenge would forfeit their right of judgment and property.